I'm Nick Seco from HomeRight Windows and Doors, and we're located in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. So we do vinyl replacement windows, we do steel and fiberglass entry doors, we do aluminum storm doors, and we do sliding patio doors, all made by Provia. The windows are a vinyl replacement window, and it could be anything from double hungs to casements to bay and bow windows and everything in between. So when somebody calls in the office and needs an estimate, they get Roxanne on the phone typically, and she would schedule an appointment for me to come out and take some measurements, provide some literature, go through what options we have, and then I would follow up within about 24 to 48 hours with an estimate with all the details of the products as well as the installed price. I find that we're typically much more affordable than the companies that you see advertising on TV or in a lot of other places. If they're spending a lot of advertising dollars, obviously they're passing those costs on to their consumers. You could go to our website at homerightwaynesboro.com, or you could call us at 717-749-4874.
Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk TriState with Tiny and Katie.
Welcome to Let's Talk Tri-State, all powered by HomeRight Windows and Doors in Waynesboro, Best of the Tri-State for 2024. Now we're in 2025 now, and we have Best of the Tri-State finalist here. We have Hagerstown Sports Club and Fitness General Manager, Mike Flowers. Mike, how are you? Good to see you.
Good.
So this is, in the research that I've done, because up until this point, I had never heard of Hagerstown Sports Club and Fitness, but it's pretty much a hidden gem from everything I can see. And by that, I mean, I would have had no idea. It's just off Robinwood Drive. I would not have known that this facility exists, and as much as there exists. Take us through what is Hagerstown Sports Club and Fitness.
So Hagerstown Sports Club and Fitness is, like you said, it is a hidden gem. We're a community-based gym, family-owned gym. We're a 24-hour facility, so the people that work those midnight shifts can come in. We offer child care services through the day for those single moms or those moms that want to come in and work, or fathers. We offer classes throughout the week that are free to our members. Okay. So everything we do is all-inclusive in the membership. There's no hidden fees. There's no extra charges for personal training or classes. So all our members get to enjoy all the amenities of our fitness club. We offer Pilates, yoga, strength and conditioning classes. We have Zumba. And our oldest member at our gym is 92 years old.
Wow.
He comes in every morning with his walker and his Gatorade bottle, and he gets on the bike and does his thing. So we really pride ourselves on our membership and providing the best value they can have.
Absolutely.
We have an outdoor pool in the summertime that's open from Memorial Day to Labor Day. We do water aerobics classes, and that pool will be open for 2 hours every morning before the general public can use it for lap swimming. We work with the Arc, and what we do with the Arc is we run a snack shack with our pool. So those individuals with the Arc can come run our snack shack. They can learn social skills and job skills.
Right.
And it's a benefit to us too, because again, our goal is to give back to the community, and if we can help in that way, we really pride ourselves on that. We volunteer at the Special Olympics, so we have, like myself and the previous gym manager, Sean, does the powerlifting portion for the Special Olympics. We also help with the track and field portion of the Special Olympics also. So, and we're a month-to-month, contract for our members, so it's not like some of these other fitness centers that you sign the contract and you're locked in.
Yeah.
It's really easy to get out of the contract. We don't.
And they kind of bank on you forgetting.
Right, exactly.
You just, I slacked off a bit at the gym. I haven't been back in a few months, and then, obviously the goal is to get you back and to stay healthy, but it's kind of like, those subscriptions that we have. With so many of them now, and they bank on that you're just going to forget because it just rolls over every month, and why wouldn't it naturally? Yeah. But that's really nice that you guys do the month to month.
Because, again, we want people to come there and have an enjoyable experience. And, we average about 40 to 50 new members a month. Okay. So we're steadily growing. And
how long have you been there? Not you personally. How long has the complex been there?
It's been there since 2015.
Okay.
Don't hold me to that.
So is it always been the same use for the complex as it is now? It's always been a sports and fitness facility?
Correct.
Okay,
yep.
Gotcha. Now let's talk about the pool, because we're coming into that season where the pool obviously is going to be opening, and people love hearing about a pool. I understand what you said. There's some blocked off time during the mornings. Mm-hmm. The rest of the day, though, is this something that if you wanted to get a day pass for the pool, you could come? Is it a pool that we would typically think of where kids can play, or is it specifically for athletic-driven things?
No, it's a huge community pool, and it's used for just those purposes. Okay. Kids can come there, families can come there. We're in the middle of a housing development, so the people that live in the housing complexes around, they use the pool, and then the gym members use the pool. So it's not technically open to the public. Okay. But if you're a paying member and you want to bring a guest, it's just $5 a day for a guest to come in.
Okay. So there's no day pass if you are not a member or with a member.
Right. Okay. No, if you want a day pass, it's $5 for a day pass.
And you don't have to know a member. You don't have to be brought by a member for that.
Actually, you do have to be brought with a member. You're
that's
right.
What
Correct.
I was saying. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Very good. All right. So let's go through the pertinent information as far as the actual address. I said off Robinwood Drive in Hagerstown, but what's the actual address? I think you may have. I don't know if you wrote it here, but it's an interesting address because the street name, quote unquote, is the Meadows.
Right.
Which I think is really cool. Yeah. But I promise you type in Hagerstown Sports Club and Fitness. The website is up on your screen right now, and that'll get you all the information that you need. Like I said, basically, if you can find the Robinwood Drive, then you're golden. It's right near the Highs Market in that housing development.
We're right behind Shula's.
Behind Shula's.
People know where Shula's is. We're right back behind there.
Yeah, Hummus, the Mediterranean place, is one of my favorites.
That's really good.
It is. I bet you hit that up a lot. I can imagine.
It's just how good hummus is. So we're on a preliminary stages working with the owner on offering pre-made meal services.
My man.
So we're going to transform one of the rooms in our facility into having pre-planned meals that people can order. So breakfast, lunch, snacks, and dinner, kind of like your HelloFresh.
Yeah.
Or those services, we're going to offer that through the gym for our members.
Local.
But Hello Local, and it's going to be, and we use all local companies. We try to partner and support local. Yeah. That's really important to us. So look forward to it in the future. We're going to have pre-planned meals.
I love that. I love that. So we're talking with Michael Flowers. Mike is the general manager at the Hagerstown Sports Club and Fitness. So I want to talk about you for just a second, Mike, if you would. What's your history? Where are you from? How'd you get into managing a gym? You're a guy who looks like you work out. So take us through that.
So I've had a kind of a background in fitness. Out of high school, I joined the Marine Corps.
Service.
Went into the infantry, did 8 years in the Marine Corps. And after being overseas enough times, I decided, I want to try to get out and see what civilian life is like. Okay. I worked for local law enforcement for another 12 years. And then I had about 20 years, and I decided, 20 years of service is enough for me.
Sure. Yeah.
So I got out, and then I worked for a utility contractors association as a director of education and training. Covered 36 states, but the travel was a lot. And in between those past 20, 25 years, I've always, worked out, made fitness a priority. And I really feel that's important because for me, the gym was kind of my mental health release, and getting in there and staying in shape. It wasn't necessarily after I left a career that I needed to stay, it was more of a lifestyle at that point. And then, I started at Hagerstown Sports Club and Fitness 4 years ago as a member, and I've been in and out of gyms for the past 20 years. And if you've been to those big corporate gyms, you know that the membership and the clientele is a little different than it is at our gym. Sure. We don't have the influencers. We don't have the tripods. It's not a fashion show. Right. It's not a a club.
It's a community fitness.
It's a community fitness center.
I love it.
And, my wife always says that she's been in and out of gyms, and that was the gym that she went to where she felt comfortable working out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It wasn't, it's kind of like the no judgment zone. You go and you work out there, and it's normal people like me and you working out.
Right.
And then
I think a lot of people, though, I hate to interrupt you, Mike, but when you brought up about the big corporate gyms and the people who are filming every move that they make, and it may not be about the workout as much as it is about the clicks and the likes and the the influence, as it were. And those places, a lot of them really, they try to tout the fact that we don't judge here, and there's no clanging and banging and all this kind of stuff, because of they say that they don't want you to feel intimidated. Mm-hmm. But I think at the very essence, when you walk into big places like that, there is the intimidation factor.
Right.
Whereas when you walk into a community facility such as yours, it's, hey, Mike, how you doing? Good.
Yep.
Hey, Tiny, how's it going? How's life? How's this? How's that? I know exactly what you mean, and that to me, now some people, it's very transactional. They don't mind just going into, they just need the weights and they're going to go in. They don't mind those corporate gyms. But the average person, it can be an overwhelming thing to go to a gym to begin with. Because I always said that I don't mind working out. I don't mind going to a gym. I just don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's super important. I don't know what to do. So the fact that you just said you have personal trainers that you don't charge extra for.
No.
You need some advice. You need some, where do I go from here? You hit a plateau. I'm sure you're walking the floor, you're at the desk, you'll be happy to help, right?
Absolutely. And it's not uncommon for members to come up to the front desk and, hey, I have my knee's been hurting me. Can you come up with a workout plan that's low impact? Mm-hmm. Or I'm really struggling on building muscles. What do you suggest? So we'll provide personalized meal plans that are practical.
Right.
And a lot of times when you see stuff online, at least for me, I see these meal plans that are pre-planned out, and it's, I don't even know where to look in the grocery store to buy half of this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest things, and I just saw, it wasn't a study, but I watch a lot of YouTube, which obviously is where the show Let's Talk TriState lives as well. But it was these plans like you're talking about, a lot of those. You go to the big cities, you go, wherever, and these people, they really flock to them. But the problem is if you have a family, what you have is one person who needs to buy all of this.
Yeah.
And then everyone else who needs to get all of this. Mm-hmm. So you essentially have two food bills, whereas you can take what you would normally get, and okay, so if we're having chicken, green beans, mashed potatoes, I'll have chicken and green beans. Let's, move that over here for me. Yeah. We don't have to buy a whole different protein. Mm-hmm. I think that's part of what you're talking about. It's just a realistic meal plan.
Right, yeah. And that's kind of the goal is when we start offering these meals to the members and doing online orders is to make life easier for you.
Yeah.
Because I know for me sometimes in my previous profession, if I got home at 6 o'clock at night, and by the time I went to the gym and got back to the house at 8:30 or 9, and do you really want to cook that late?
Right.
Or, big thing for me and my wife and some gym members is planning your lunch for the week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you want to spend Sunday cooking all day just to pre-plan your meals for the week, whereas we can offer you something where you just order it from us at a reasonable price, and you have that stuff already packaged for you, and you can just pick it up and go, and you have a healthy lunch for you.
Now, I know you'll have obviously these plans monthly, but will you have the option if someone's there at the gym, you know what, I just don't feel like cooking today, are they going to be able to grab and go, set up the meals and head home?
Absolutely. We're going to have meals already set there where they can just take it if you're on a whim and it's
just a one-off. And,
I didn't set anything out for dinner.
Right.
Everything's frozen. Let's grab something.
I love that.
And it's what we can do to set ourselves aside, because being a family-owned community gym, it's tough.
Yeah, it is.
And when you're competing with the YMCA and One Life and Planet Fitness and Crunch, those guys, those places all kind of have the same offerings.
Yeah.
It's 6 here, half a dozen there, same formula.
Yeah.
Now, with us, we find our niche on what we can do that they're not doing. And that's working with the ARC, with the Special Olympics. We're doing a youth football camp this summer for 3rd through 8th grade. And we got a couple NFL prospects an NFL player is going to help with this coach, or help coach this camp. And it's a defensive-based camp. It's a linebacker and defensive line camp.
Great.
Because we spoke with one of our, we also partner with Thick and Thin Brewery. They fall under the same umbrella of ownership.
Okay.
And Isaiah Farmer, one of the bartenders there, is currently doing an NFL combine, and he brought that idea to me, and I said, you know what? Why not?
Why not?
What can we do that other people aren't doing? And so I think that's another thing that we do that's going to set ourselves aside, and it kind of sets us apart.
I think it sounds like to me, if I had to try to find some way to put it, is that every gym is a part of the community, but not every gym is in the community.
Right.
So not only is Hagerstown Sports Club and Fitness part of the community, but you're in the community.
Yeah.
I think that's the set apart. That's the delineation between the two.
And it's not as much about gaining membership, it's what we can do to give back to the community and get involved. We're working with nursing homes in Washington County to have our personal trainers go in once a week, offer stretching, calisthenics, low-impact stuff to get people up, get moving around. So that's just one of the another thing that we like to do to give back to the community.
Yeah, it sounds like I love, you started out talking about working with folks at the Arc, and then you talked about the kids and the football camps, and then now it's the senior citizens who are, so there's really not a demographic that you're not hitting, or at least attempting to influence in some way, and all for the better, obviously. Well, man, Mike, I could talk to you for hours, buddy.
Absolutely.
I really could. Let's hit the high points once again. So the website we have is HagerstownSportsClubFitness.com is the website. Now, Mike has told me that they're going to be undergoing some changes on that website, but the website title and the link is not going to change, but it's going to be undergoing a massive update and a refresh. But pertinent information is still there. As he said, I would say go through the hours, but Mike has told you they're 24-hour gym, and I encourage you to check them out. One thing I didn't ask, Mike, is if someone just wants to stop in, explore, do a little workout, do you offer a free first-time check-in?
Typically what I do is if somebody comes in, wants to try out the gym, go ahead and you get a free day pass. If you want to do 2 or 3 days, see how you like it. If it's not for you, that's fine.
Okay.
If so, we'll sign you for membership, and we offer discounts to first responders, military, veterans, healthcare workers, nurses, and Meritus Hospital. So and students also. So if you're following one of those demographics, we offer special rates and discounts also for them.
Now, I'm assuming, is it one membership price no matter what, or are there tiered memberships? I can't imagine why there would be.
It's individual memberships and then family plans.
Okay.
And then we do charge a little extra for childcare.
Right.
And then if you're a resident of one of the properties that fall under the umbrella of ownership, then you just pay a one-time fee to come in and for the membership.
Great. Yep. Hey, love to have you back when you start
Absolutely.
doing all these projects, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to have to try some of that pre-done food you have there. It sounds really good.
I'll let you know as soon as we're up and running.
Of course. All right, we've been talking with Mike Flowers. He is the GM of Hagerstown Sports Club and Fitness here on Let's Talk TriState, all powered by Virtus Men's Health in Hagerstown. Telehealth available. Find them online, virtusmenshealth.com.
Let's talk TriState.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk TriState, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.